Sandy says read, and welcome to the channel. In the background, you will hear my birds complaining about how many treats I did not give them, because they are not thankful for the treats they did get. Today, we are going to do the Great Gatsby 100th tag. And we're going to listen to the birds chirping about it while we do it. It'll be great. It'll be awesome. You guys, this tag originated with 3 different booktubers. We have Sherri at Books and Radio Plays. We have Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads, and Alan at Big Hard Books. These 3 started this tag, and I believe they started it before the month of April began, because during the month of April, the Great Gatsby celebrated its 100th anniversary. And that's awesome. That's pretty doggone cool, okay? So during the month of April, other booktubers participated in this tag. I missed it, as I often do, but I was tagged by Pat over at Book Chat with Pat. So I am finally getting around to filming this tag. I want to mention to you guys, there is, a fancy dancy, beautiful version of The Great Gatsby for its 100th anniversary. It's, that pink, shiny, pretty version of it that is out there. You can see that over at Pat's channel. I will put a link to her version of this tag in the drop-down box below, and you can see the book that she ordered, that she got. But the folks at Jumpmaster Press out of, I think, Indiana, I think that's where Jumpmaster Press is located, they have released a black spine edition version of The Great Gatsby. It's in their line of black spine edition books. I have just recently ordered the Jane Eyre black spine edition. Of course I did, right? Now, the very first one they ever released was Dracula by Bram Stoker. And this is what their black spine editions look like. This is Dracula. You can see it's black spine. Look at the little bat up there at the top. How cute is that? There's Dracula. And inside, you can see it is black pages with reverse type. That's what's going on in the black spine editions, which is pretty doggone cool. And the version from the version of Dracula that they released has been signed by Dacre Stoker. Dacre Stoker signed, I don't know how many of them he did, 2 of 100. Hey, I have number 2 of 100. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, he signed inside there. You can see signed 2 of 100. So I guess he signed 100 of them. Okay, yay, there we go. I hadn't noticed that before now. Let me put this back on the shelf. So the black spine edition of The Great Gatsby is out there in the world, and you can order that from Jumpmaster Press directly. I will put a link to that in the drop-down box below as well. Now, the tag, the Great Gatsby 100th tag, only has 5 prompts, so let's dive in. Prompt number 1 asks, do you like parties? There are a few parties in The Great Gatsby. Okay. Name a book with a big or small party in it. And I'm going to go with a poem and a book. The poem is The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock by T.S. Eliot. You guys, I can't believe that we made it through the month of April without me reading The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock to you guys. I know, right? Every April, every International Poetry Month, I read this poem to you guys here on the channel. And this year, I didn't. I missed it. I didn't do it. And I feel like we missed out on something by me not doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the little stack of things that I have for the next video that I'm going to film, because I'm going to do sort of a poetry wrap up for the end of April. Lord knows when I'm going to actually get it, uploaded for you guys, but I'm going to at least film something, and I'm going to include The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, because it is like my favorite ever. Okay, and there's like a party. It's basically people at a party, and in the rooms the women come and go. Speaking of Michelangelo, talking of Michelangelo. Okay, there it is. The book that I wanted to show you is In the Pleasure Groove by John Taylor. You know, I had to put some Duran in this, right? Okay, Duran. John Taylor does talk about parties in this book. Of course. I mean, Duran was known for having really good parties back in the day. I'm sure they still do. Every time there's like a premiere of something, Nick Rhodes is there. All right, so there we go. In the Pleasure Groove by John Taylor. There we go. Let's go on to prompt number 2. What would you do to get the love of your life back? Name a book where a lost love is the center of the story. And we can't name a romance because that's too easy. So what would I do to get the love of my life back? We're not going to discuss necromancy or magic or weird superstitious stuff to get Petrie back because I'll start crying. But a book where a lost love is the center of the story, we're going to talk about Phantom by Terry Goodkind. There we go. In this book, Kaylin has like awakened with her memory erased. She doesn't know who she is. And I know that's a trope in a lot of different genres, but she's awakened. She doesn't know who she is. She is like lost and confused. She's wandering the countryside, and Richard has to find her and get her back. And he has to basically convince her who she is once he does find her and get her back. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that. Obviously, it's a pretty thick book, right? But this is one of the books in Terry's huge series. Which does it tell us? Which the Sword of Truth series like turned into a bigger series. I'm trying to see if it tells us. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to see if it tells us if there's another name. Phantom. No. This was released in 2006. You guys, it has been a hot minute, hasn't it? Nope, just dives right in. All right. Okay. Well, anyway, there's that one. But also in that same like overarching Sword of Truth series, there is Faith of the Fallen, a Sword of Truth novel, Faith of the Fallen. In this one, Richard knows where Kaylin is. It's not like he has to find her, but he has been, like, he and Kaylin have been separated by magic. There is an evil witch type person who has separated them, put a spell on Kaylin in such a way so that anything that happens to this witch person, Nietzsche, anything that happens to her also happens to Kaylin. So if Nietzsche gets cut, Kaylin also gets cut wherever she is in the world. So it's not like she's lost, but getting back to her and getting that spell broken is sort of the crux of what needs to happen in Faith of the Fallen. Is that enough of that? I answered the question. Yes? Okay. Number three, Nick, the narrator, was both a character in the story of Great Gatsby and the narrator. He really put you into the picture. Who is your favorite narrator? You guys, Jane from Jane, sweet, wonderful Jane. She is my favorite narrator. I love her. I love her story. I love I love her. I love her moral compass. 4, what is some advice given to you in your younger and more vulnerable years that you've been turning over in your mind ever since? I did some thinking about this one. And I'm not real sure. I don't know what advice someone like gave me in my younger years that I've held on to. I mean, I've read Andrew Grove's Only the Paranoid Survive. And that has stuck with me. Now, he did not say that to me. He did not give that advice to me. Only the Paranoid Survive. Who Moves Your Cheese? That book, the advice in there has stuck with me. I'm going to go with my first job out of college. Ed Bible was my boss. And he did not so much say stuff to me that stuck with me, but his example stuck with me. I mean, the way he would stay late after work and work with us, the crew of us. I mean, we published a magazine, and we also published calendars and catalogs and flyers and advertising materials for people. We did so much more in our creative services division. We were constantly producing things. And there was so much overtime at that job. And there were times when he would roll up his sleeves and he would stay late and work with us. And there were some tasks that were just like menial little tasks where, you just said, this was back in like the early 90s, okay, where you just had to like stuff pictures into envelopes to send off to newspapers and stuff. This was the early 90s, okay? And we had to do things like that. And he would get right in there with us. He was stuffing things in envelopes right in there with us. And his example of just getting in there and working hard and doing the job and getting it out the door, that stuck with me. Yeah. I don't know if that was advice, but my grandpa once said that you don't include expected overtime when you're budgeting. Like, you don't count on overtime dollars to be in your budget, because that can get cut at any time. That can fall through at any time. That might not come through. And then if you've included that in your budget, you're screwed. He did not use those words, but if you're planning your budget and you include, expected overtime, that extra stuff in your basic budget, you could end up screwing yourself over. So yeah, I keep that in my mind too. Yeah. Never bank on that extra stuff coming through for me. Never. Kind of like people say, never gamble what you can't afford to lose. I kind of think of overtime that way. Of course, I have a salary job now. I don't get overtime anyway, but like this extra stuff that I do on the side for the books, never count on a book making any kind of money at all. Never. That way, if the Amazon report comes through and I made $2 last month, yay, I can be excited about that $2, but I never expect that $2 to come in. You think I'm joking about $2. I am not. Number five, Tom Buchanan is not a good man, but it is done in a very subtle manner. Name a book where the character is not obviously bad, but as you get to know him, he is very, very bad. Okay, so I want to talk about two books. I want to talk about two characters. I'm going to start with The Financier by Theodore Dreiser. Did I write it down? Dreiser? Yes, The Financier by Theodore Dreiser. Frank Cowperwood, he doesn't look like a bad character at first. He doesn't look like he's a bad guy at first. I mean, especially he wants to marry the widow. She's like, what, 5 years older than him? 5? She's older than him. And everyone tells him, you shouldn't marry an older woman. And she even tells him, I'm older than you. Are you sure that you want to marry me? It's wonderful that you love me. It's wonderful that you dote upon me and you're courting me. That's so kind. Are you sure you want to marry me? I'm older than you. And he's like, I love you so much. I must marry you. And so they do get married. And then later in the book, he cheats on her. He gets sick of having an older wife, and she is aging more than him, faster than him. Oh gosh. And so he does cheat on her with this, cute young thing who is the cute young thing daughter of his business partner. And his business partner is like, you idiot. You're coming to me for money that you need to finance this stuff. He's hedging his bets. He's playing the stock market. He needs this money from his business partner to make good on all these other things that are happening. He's got this domino effect thing going on, right? And he screws it all up because he can't keep it in his pants, right? Yeah. So Frank Cowperwood, I think he's a character who becomes very, very bad. The other character I want to talk about is Emma. Emma from Madame Bovary, right? Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert. Emma, I think she was always a bit of, can I say twat here on YouTube? Do they get upset about that? She was always a bit of a twat, but she just spirals into this greedy, unthankful, ungrateful, rude chick. I didn't like her. Didn't like her at all. She's just not kind to Charles. She's not kind to Charles from kind of the outset. I mean, when she first marries him, she's just not kind to him. It's like she doesn't want him around at like a party because she would rather dance with the young spry gentlemen who have come in, right? I didn't like that. She's just always looking for something better than what she has. No matter what she has, she's always looking for something better. And like that. She's not a good character. She's not nice. She's very bad. Okay, there we go. Is that all? Is that all that we had? Yes. Okay, a lot of people have already been tagged in this tag. April is over, so I think everyone who was going to do the Great Gatsby tag has probably already done it. If you have not already done this tag, I will put the prompts in the drop-down box below so that you can do the tag too without going back through all of this. You don't have to sit through all of this again. I will put other people's tags down below so you can see their videos, how they interpreted this tag. Enjoy. Thumbs up for the Great Gatsby. Thumbs up for Daisy. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for tuning in.